let's get into it now with the first email today. And the first email today comes to us from Martin, who writes, "Love the show. Watch it every day traveling to work." Well, thank you so much, Martin. "Is directing an MCU movie the dream job? I mean, Joss Whedon, the Russos, James Gunn, and Taika Waititi are highly sought after these days and can pick their projects now. Do you think Scott Derrickson and Peyton Reed will become sought after talent when they are finished with the MCU?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And well, I mean, look, I don't think it's an issue of directing an MCU movie makes you a hot, sought-after commodity. I don't think that's the case. I think directing a big hit movie, whether it's with the MCU or whether it's a Mission Impossible movie or whether it's a Star Trek movie or whether it's a Jack Ryan movie or whether it's a DC movie or whether it's a video game, whatever. Directing a hit movie is what makes you a highly sought-after director. But it's not just a hit movie. A really critically acclaimed movie can make you a highly sought-after director. Look, let's make no mistake about it. Joss Whedon had his place in the fandom before he ever directed Avengers. Like, there's a reason when they announced him as the director of Avengers that everybody got so excited, because Joss Whedon was already Joss Whedon. Did Avengers up his profile? Absolutely it did, but he was already kind of Joss Whedon. Taika Waititi, what made him a highly sought after guy was he was highly sought after before Thor Ragnarok, right? Because when he did What We Do in the Shadows, which was not a huge blockbuster hit, but everybody is raving about it, everybody started wanting to work with Taika Waititi, and then they got him for Thor Ragnarok. So he was kind of already on that path to being highly sought after. The Russo brothers are a good one. Like, a lot of time, I remember back when the Russo brothers were first announced that they were going to be directing this Captain America movie, Winter Soldier, and it's like a lot of people were like, aren't those guys who did the comedy on TV? But it was a big hit. And I would submit to you that it was the fact, not the fact that it was an MCU movie, but the fact that it was a big monstrous hit that everybody then talked about and buzzed about. That's what made them, really increase their stock. Not so much just because it was an MCU movie, but because it was a high-profile movie that critics loved, the audiences loved, and it made a ton of money. That, to me, is the bigger kind of culprit, if you will, as to them getting higher profile and higher sought after. Let's look at guys like Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson was a smaller name director, but well-respected in the genre, right? Well-respected. And he does have 2 movies that have been announced that he's doing. Peyton Reed, interestingly enough, Peyton Reed has no movies, at least if you look at his IMDb, he has no movies lined up to direct next. So obviously Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp is in theaters right now, but he doesn't have anything else lined up right yet. So that's his second MCU movie. He's done 2 now. And he doesn't have 8, 9, 10, offers coming in, or maybe he does, but he doesn't have 8, 9, 10 projects lined up. So I'm going to say no. I don't think just by directing an MCU movie, you are automatically now on the fast track of directors. I don't think that's the case. I think we've seen that there are some examples of people who've directed great MCU movies and they're not the next big director. We've also seen some guys direct MCU movies, but they were already kind of named properties. And then we get guys like the Russo brothers. But I think that has more to do with the fact that they were hit movies than MCU movies. So that's kind of my feeling on that. What do you guys think? Do you think completely differently than me? I completely understand that. Jump into the comments section and let me know what you think. All right, let's move on to the second email today.